All right, so I'm Dr. ASAD from the African Center for the Study of the United States, and we are here at Four Ways Farmers Market with the African Summer for Academic Development Program. HBCU students, 19 HBCU students, social work students from all over the United States are here in Johannesburg enjoying their time. And we wanted to bring them out to Four Ways so they could kind of experience the vibe that takes place at the farmers market.
Yazula abatwana namajitekas isidwadla namadrinks bumna isho bumna ifuna bumna asitatazeli sayenza le asindezeli impilo kuphela emnandi ishemnandi emnandi ngikhumbule khaya.
She keeps calling me, feel her in my soul. I'm coming home. I can't take no more, can't take no more. Every time she call, I get a tingle in my spine. Motherland is on my mind, motherland is on my mind. Every time I call, I get a tingle in my spine. Motherland is on my mind, motherland is on my mind. I'm coming back home.
Sekuputi haya namhlanje pakisha ngiyele khaya namhlanje pakisha ngiyele khaya.
I'm coming back home.
Sekuputi haya namhlanje pakisha ngiyele khaya namhlanje pakisha ngiyele khaya. Uyamazweni ngifike 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 uyamazweni ngifike.
Greetings, I'm Rhonda Wilbin. I'm here in South Africa, Johannesburg, representing the National Association of Black Social Workers. We brought 19 social workers here for a summer exchange program, and we're here today at Four Ways Market. It's an outdoor market. It's music, it's food, it's vendors. The students are walking all around. I don't even know where they are, but they're having a great time, and I'm having a great time as well. I'll see you back at home.
She keeps calling me, feel her in my soul. Think I'm coming home. I can't take no more, can't take no more. Every time she call, I get a tingle in my spine. Motherland is on my mind.
Thank you.
You want to say something or not?
Huh?
You want to say something or not?
No, I'm hungry and I know this is delicious.
Yeah.
I know that they put all of the essentials into it.
Yeah.
I know it's made from an artisan.
Yeah.
Right? Not a capitalist.
Yeah.
An artisan.
Yeah.
And that is very different. Right? You're making money doing what you love. You're not just making money. And that's what I love about this. So I know this is going to be good because it's made by an artisan. So I got steak.
Ooh, the real African food.
Yeah. So we got a steak. And my wife will tell you, this guy loves him some steak.
Yeah.
So to have a steak on the continent,
Yeah.
oh man, it's like hog heaven, right? And this is maize, it's like a corn product, and so I'm looking forward to trying that. This new, so I'm looking forward to that. And so I know it's going to be delicious and good.
You're definitely going to enjoy it, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
busu Ngon yazula zula Yazula zula Abantwana namachitekas Isikadlo namadrinks bumna Ishu bumna Kifono bumna Astatazeli Sayenzale Astindezeli Impilokpe Emnan Ishemnan Ikumbule kaya
She keeps calling me, feel her in my soul. I'm coming home. I can't take no more. Every time she call, I get a tingle in my spine. Motherland is on my mind. Motherland is on my mind. Every time I call, I get a tingle in my spine. Motherland is on my mind. Motherland is on my mind. I'm coming back home. I'm coming back. She keeps calling me, feel her in my soul. Think I'm coming home.
I'm Dr. ASAD Al-Malik with the African Center for the Study of the United States here at the University of WITS Witwatersrand. The idea for the African Summer for Academic Development came about as a goal to bridge the gap between African Americans and South Africans who both share these histories of racialized societies, and to bring social workers together in order to understand these different dynamics and impact their practices.
Yazula Abantwana namachitekas Isikadlo namadrinks bumna Ishu bumna Kifono bumna Astatazeli Sayenzale Astindezeli Impilokpe Emnan Ishemnan Ikumbule kaya
She keeps calling me, feel her in my soul. I'm coming home. I can't take no more.
to recognize two very special women to this program. Without them, this program wouldn't have been possible, right? So I always say, I thought of the program, but I didn't really nothing but have an idea. I had to reach out to individuals who had the ability to help bring that idea to fruition. So Dr. Nikande, thank you so much. Dr. Wilbon.
I didn't get a hug.
Oh.
I like that.
Yeah. All right. So I debated about what I was going to say. I told y'all when y'all first met me, I come from the church, right? My dad I'm a Muslim from the church. So I was reading scripture last night, so I'm not trying to tell nobody what you believe, but it was just a narrative that came to me. There's a story of Moses and the children of Israel. Y'all familiar with that story?
Yes.
And oftentimes as African Americans, when we read the story of the children of Israel, we see ourselves in them, right? They were in bondage for 400 years in Israel. In Egypt. And we as African Americans were in bondage for 400 years in the United States of Egypt. Right? However, if you read the narrative a little longer and a little more detail, you'll see a very interesting picture that emerges. Moses, did y'all know that Moses is not a Hebrew name? Yes. Moses is an Egyptian name. Moses didn't speak Hebrew. Moses didn't dress like the children of Israel. He was raised in the house of Pharaoh. So when you kind of examine who is really the children of Israel, who is really Moses, here we are coming back to South Africa with these old funny names, right? Patterson and Wells Wilbon and Stevens, and my government name is King. There's a sister King names. And my government name is King. We come back with funny names and dressing like, what do you say, diluted?
Yeah, diluted.
Dressing diluted. And not speaking our own mother tongues. But when Moses connected with the children of Israel, that is when the liberation of the children of Israel began. So this program was never merely about social work. It was never merely about an exchange. It was about connecting the Moses and the children of Israel. Yeah. It was about the liberation. This is liberation work. I kept saying, oh, Doc, you're a social worker. I'm a liberation worker. Come on now. This program is about liberation, and the liberation begins when we reconnect. Right? So I am just filled with joy that we are here today. Look at us dressed in all our love. I had to muster fire mine up. You know? I was trying to see if I could find a route for the grandmother, but it was trouble. It was trouble. It was trouble. But we are here today, and we are reconnected. So when you go back home and someone says to you, and you say to somebody, oh, I went to Africa, and they say, oh, them Africans don't even like African Americans. You can say, I've been liberated. That's BS. Dr. Stevens, when you go back and say, I've been to Africa, they say they're over there eating monkey meat and living in huts. You can say, I've been liberated, thank me later. Right? So we have done the work, and I hope that we continue to do this work over and over again. So I won't hold you any much longer. But I'm so thankful for this day and for this moment. For this moment, I know that somewhere on the other side, as my big mama would say, in the great by and by, our ancestors are rejoicing. They're having a day of jubilee. Their hands are clapping and their feet are tapping. And as long as we continue with this spirit, that rejoicing will continue. So you guys have a great day.
Hello, everybody. everybody. I'm Dr. Rhonda Wills-Wilbin, and I'm here in Johannesburg, South Africa, on behalf of the National Association of Black Social Workers. I am a professor of social work at Morgan State University in Baltimore, Maryland, in the USA. I have had an opportunity over the last several days, a week and a half or so, to bring some phenomenal social workers from the United States here to a summer program at WITS University, partnering with the social work department here, as well as the African Center for the Study of the United States here at WITS. And so today was the last day of our program, and it has been absolutely amazing. This was our inaugural group of students, including myself, 20 social workers, 16 social work students from universities around the United States, all Black social workers, another faculty member from Illinois, my good friend, Dr. Nathan Stevens, as well as some practitioners that are doing work in the field. We were here just as part of an opportunity to bridge and build relationships with our colleagues here in South Africa. The work that they're doing here, preparing students to be out in the community doing social work, is absolutely amazing. We took so much in, so much information, so much knowledge in from our colleagues here, and we had an opportunity to go into the community and work and see some of the organizations that their students are doing volunteer work in, and so, or not even volunteer work, they're doing their field internships in some of these various agencies. And one of the things that we learned that we're super excited about is everything here is based on community. It is based on a collaborative kind of experience, and so every single thing that is done here, it happens just like that, which is somewhat different from how we approach things in the United States. So we're interested in learning more from them about how we can integrate some of those kinds of things into our programs in the US. And then we're also excited about, hopefully over the next year, receiving some students from here to come to the United States and have an opportunity to have an exchange program where we talk with them and give them more opportunity to see things that we're doing in the United States. And it's all about liberation and freedom, because we still have not obtained that, and so we really want to make sure that we understand that the work that we do in the community, helping people heal, helping people be able to be their best selves, is really ultimately about helping people be liberated and be free. And at the end of the day, as long as there's poverty in our communities, as long as there is oppression in our communities, as long as we have to follow other people's rules and other people's ways of showing up in the world, we're still not free. And so as long as we're not free, we're going to keep coming back here to the continent, and we're going to have our brothers and sisters come back to the U.S., and we're going to keep building our bonds and building our relationships. And I think that's all, Dr. ASAD.
Even though we're the same age, she was one of the poets that I looked up to. She's from my hometown, New Orleans, Sanford. And you know, we are African Americans, but we're a little different in New Orleans. We got our own thing.
We know. We know.
This sister is a poet. She is a teacher, graduate of Tuskegee. She's a healer, and I wanted to give her an opportunity because she's experienced some of this stuff this week. But when I asked her to come from ASAD Cultural Center, the same place that Freddie came from, I knew that she would be able to make a connection that is both from the social work perspective, but also from this kind of healing and spiritual and Afrocentric perspective. So, yes. Sister Sunny.
Hey family, how is everyone? I'm here at a particular time, but let's start off. I'm sure you, because you've already started, you started this way and continued it in this way, so I will bring this other aspect to it. So this piece goes. Great ancestors, you are breath, you are a bridge, you carry us over tumultuous time. You who can hear and answer with quick remedy, you are ready before we ask. You who can speak through tongues of trees and fire and water, this earth cannot hold you. We pound the ground and you appear, O ancient one. You who can make lightning strike with the flick of a skirt. You who can make tornado turn with the spin and span of hips, take us there to the place of knowing, to the hall that leads to the doorway of you, O holy ones, you of the first light. You who know the potential of possibility pulsing in the dark, deliver us unto our gifts. You who have sunlight in your fingertips, touch our drums, make us hear the rising, make us move a steady stump, a choir of voices so majestic, heaven hides us in a tapestry of light, or we are stars, blankets of wonder, sky bright eyes seeing the invisible, visible. You who have returned, you have turned our faces so that we see ourselves, and we have found you again in places we would have never imagined. You make our limits infinitely long, our vision is clearer with eyes closed, and even there you still stand in full color, vibrant and eager to serve. Being in this ancestral space and being in this space that has allowed us all to not just connect, but reconnect and remember in the greatest sense of the word, meaning to put ourselves back together again. And in doing that, we are also putting each other back together again.
Yes.
So we give thanks for the ability, for the opportunity, for the privilege, for the honor of being able to come together in the ways in which we have. I joined you late, but on time. Well, I went to sleep on our great ambassador and all kinds of stuff. Working it out. We get it together and working it out. Yes, she did. I'm not asleep right now. So there's something that has been coming up, and we were talking about just this theme of liberation.
Yes.
This theme of freedom and what that really means. And especially what that means, there are a couple things. There's something called, there's a particular kind of pain, they say, that happens when a person loses a limb, right? And even though this person is still alive, this part of their limb or a digit or whatever it is not there, but the thing is they still feel it. Sometimes they can still feel the pain, call it like a phantom pain or something like this, right? So I think about this because I think about how we have been cut off as a people so often that it's sometimes hard for us to reconnect. But what we know is that who feels it knows it. What we know is that there's this aspect of pain, there's also this aspect of joy that we can't help but to feel, whether we are there or whether we are here. So this is giving thanks for the family that we have been reunited with here. Right, so I think about this because I think about this aspect of how, just even with this, we expanded community. So at, say, Ashe Cultural Arts Center, we have a group of artists who help to train other artists to be community health workers. So I have to look at this word from a few different perspectives. So when I think about community, we hear this one aspect of unity in the word, but I had to look at this from the code. And anytime we see that CO in front of a word, that deals with this aspect of togetherness. But it also has this part of munity. So I had to think about what is munity. So I looked at other words that had munity in it, like immunity. We know what our immune systems are built to do. They're meant to protect us. There are other words like ammunition. We know why we would use ammunition. We would hope that it will also be ways to protect us, right? So what we know is that a true community is one where everyone feels protected. We know that a true community is one where we are able to come together and express ourselves in ways that we may not be able to express ourselves in other spaces. So I'm giving thanks for expanded community here. So we look at these other parts because, and why that's important for this aspect of social work, and when what we learn about a white supremacist system, apartheid, Jim Crow. This is when we're looking at the apartheid that happens and still continues to happen in the United States and even here. When we think about these kind of things, right, and we think about the institutionalized racism, the institutionalized systemic pain, hurt, deliberate murder, deliberate separation, then we think about how we have come to believe in the separation. When the real part is that the separation is an illusion. When the real part is that capitalism and colonialism makes us believe a lie.
Yes.
Capitalism and colonialism makes us schizophrenic. Capitalism and colonialism makes us not only hate ourselves, but it makes us hate one another. So in this, I'm one of these kind of experiential kind of people. Okay, so let's see. We're in this oval shape. I don't want to do too much movement, but I'm gonna have to. So if we could, no, but you know what? You sure? So this is important because if we are unable to see ourselves, which you reminded us of, and which everyone I'm sure before reminded us of, if we are unable to see ourselves in each other's eyes, then this work is over. Then we've fallen for the trap of this same colonizing. And the point for us, and the point in this work, is so that we're peeling off every layer, that we're decolonizing our taste buds, that we're decolonizing our minds, that we're decolonizing our hearts, that we're decolonizing our belief systems and everything else that comes with it, and that we're able to see in one another's eyes, that we're able to see ourselves. And it's so often we're not even looking in people's eyes. It's quite often that it's really like, okay, how you doing? And we're looking down, right? This is an opportunity. I know we're not that close. Normally, I would say, whoever you're across from, go to that person. That takes a lot of time. We don't have that much time. But what I just want us to do is take a very intentional few seconds. I can count us all, probably do. But a very intentional few seconds and just look. Just look whoever you feel like you're across from. Now, sometimes people ask you, we get a little cross-eyed, but it's okay. But even in that, if one eye going this way, see who you see. But let us take some intentional time to look in one another's eyes. We might not be that close, so it might be hard for you to see yourself. This can be kind of, this is where the weird stuff happens. Because this is like, I don't really do this kind of, we don't look in people's eyes like this. And is this like the staring game? Whoever looks away first is that the loser of the game. This is not a winner. Say it one more time so everyone can.
So it's Sani.
So it's Sani Bonani.
Sani Bonani.
Yes. Yeah. So even if it's one person, so that's what I was trying to explain, that even if it's one person, you still say Sani Bonani because you're saying, I recognize the ancestors you walk with.
Yes.
And the ancestors in me recognize yours.
Yes.
So that's why we say Sani.
Sani.
Not Sawa.
Yeah.
Singular.
Sani Bonani.
Sani Bonani. And then the response. Yebo.
Sani Bonani.
Yebo. Sani Bonani. Now you see how we know Yebo in America? So we say this quite often. So which would just, so for us, right, we just use it as a yes. We just say it's a yes. So if someone asks you a question or someone calls your name, right? So the thing is,
That might be a New
sometimes
Orleans thing, Sonny. That might be.
No,
no. They just confirmed it. So that's a piece. So let us look, but let us see, because sometimes that's a difference. So let us look and see one another. Let's take a few seconds to.
Greetings, my name is Tiffany Wright. I'm from Inglewood, California. I am a current student at Morgan State University in the doctoral and social work program. I'm also a member of National Association of Black Social Workers. I am a clinician with a private practice, founder of a nonprofit called Cocoa Coalition, author, and a speaker.
Action.
My interest in participating in the program firstly comes from my previous experience in South Africa. I found it very culturally enriching, very welcoming, spiritually grounding, and I came to South Africa the first time 7 years ago, and it was right before I embarked on the journey of being a clinical social worker as I am now. At the time, being in nature, being around the people, being immersed in the culture, I got an interest in nature-based therapy. 7 years later now, I am a nature-based therapist, and that is the focus of my dissertation. So in seeing the opportunity, I wanted to come back. I wanted to see if there was any opportunities to connect with other scholars who might have a background in spirituality, see how I could possibly integrate an understanding of the relationship that South African folks have with spirituality, with nature. I also just wanted to learn what social work was like here, because it's so dynamic in the States depending on where you are. I'm based in Los Angeles, California. And then thirdly, I wanted to be able to network with folks across the country and across the continent. And so that's why I participated. The last 2 weeks has been mentally, emotionally, spiritually expansive in so many ways. I didn't know what to expect. I had my intentions with the program, but I think it was much more enriching than I thought it was going to be. From attending the site visits for the organizations, just learning about how holistic and comprehensive the practitioners or the founders of the organizations were. I think that expanded my mind around how to be much more interconnected with other practitioners back home. Secondly, I would say being able to have critical dialogues around the differences and similarities between professionals or just the Black experience in the US versus the Black experience here, I think was expansive as well. We had a lot of tough conversations, but a lot of conversations that I think just put people's heart posture in the right place to see how much more connected we are than different. Lastly, I would say just the general warmth and welcoming of the staff, of the facilitators involved. They really allowed people to ask questions. They really allowed people to explore from a place of curiosity and open their mind. And so I would say going away from South Africa or taking away from this experience is just the idea of reminding myself of who I am, how connected I am to people that look like me across the diaspora, no matter where they're from. I would also say just a reminder of making sure that even if I operate in isolation, to always operate in collaboration with other practitioners, and just keep an open mind as I walk through the profession and expanding my tool set and expanding my knowledge.
So my name is Sherry Coffin. I'm an LCSW and registered play therapy supervisor. I live in Decatur, Georgia, which is right outside of Atlanta, Georgia, and I am in the DSW program at Morgan State University. I primarily work with children and adolescents, mainly the ages from 2 to 10 years old, with some teenagers. And the reason I decided to come on this trip was a lot of my colleagues are coming, just to be pretty honest with you. And there was that FOMO, fear of missing out. And I think it was an opportunity for me as well to get outside of my comfort zone a little bit and go on a trip with people that I don't know. I think for me also is to do a little self-exploration and try to find out more about myself, where I fit in this big, huge world that we live in, and sort of continue to focus on what is my overall purpose in life. What I think about the program overall, I think it was a great opportunity. I encourage anyone who's interested in attending to go ahead and apply. I definitely feel like things could be a little bit different. Personally, I'm struggling with something that happened just within our cohort. I don't know if you want me to go into details about that or what. Okay, but I think for me overall, just given the time frame of when everything was put together and the execution, it went as fast as anyone could have hoped for. Yes, could there be changes? Absolutely, there's always room for improvement. However, also, like I said, given the time frame of when everything had to come together, you would have thought this was planned for months and months, not just the couple of months that it had been put into action. So I don't have any complaints, honestly, about the program just in general. One of the things that Dr. Wilwan had mentioned before we got here was one of the things that we would contribute personally. And for me, it was, I'm a go with the flow type of person. And so whatever happens, happens. Lean into it. There's a reason for the change. To allow grace to others. Again, this is a new experience. And so I have no complaints other than my electric blanket stopped working, but that's a personal issue, not a program issue. So.
Great. Awesome.
Hi, my name is Tamia Green. I am an MSW student at Howard University. I'm originally from Ogden, Utah, and I am the student chair of the DC Metro chapter of NABSW. I forgot the second question. Why I came to South Africa? I wanted to come to South Africa because I wanted to reconnect with myself, my spirituality, and just be immersed in a culture, and also learn Afrocentric interventions, principles, perspective, and how I can implement that in the States. And
Experience.
oh, my overall experience, it's been life-changing. I feel like, I was just saying, I feel like it's been a warm hug, an uncomfortable warm hug, but there's comfort in the discomfort. And I feel like I'm gonna be unpacking this for the rest of my life for the better. It's been so amazing. I feel like I can't wait to come back and potentially do my PhD here.
I decided to come to this cultural exchange program here in South Africa to learn more about how South Africans do social work, and also how I can change up my practice in the United States, and also learn about the historical contemporary components of South Africa, and to bridge that gap between the US and South Africa.
Your overall thoughts on the program?
My thoughts of the program has been beyond what I can imagine. I've had a well-rounded experience the South African culture, the history, being in the communities and learning about the work that social workers are doing here in South Africa, and just continue to learn more about it as I continue to go about my journey. But it has been a pleasure being here, and I look forward to continue to staying in touch with the South Africans here in South Africa.
I'm cool.
I'm coming back home.